Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by Impact Minerals Managing Director, Dr. Mike Jones. Mike, thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Tully. Great to be here again on Stockhead.
So, Impact recently released a pre-feasibility study. Can you take us through the economic metrics it highlighted?
Certainly, we think that it's almost world-class economics. The NPV, which is the net present value, that means how much the project's worth to us now in the ground, is just over 1 billion Australian dollars, which is a huge number by anybody's metrics. And the other key things to go with it, the capex to build the project is about 259 million Australian dollars. That gives us what we call a capital efficiency ratio against the NPV of about 4-1, which is again fantastic. The other key number is the operating cost, or the OPEX, and we believe that we have one of, if not the lowest cost producers of high purity alumina anywhere in the world, and that's been demonstrated now by this pre-feasibility study. And as a result of that, we get very quick payback, and we get fantastic annual cash flows after tax of about $170 million. So it is really a fantastic project.
And what makes the Magic Lake Hope such a unique project for high purity alumina?
That's right. So we do like to call it the Magic Lake. And look, the material is very easy to mine. So if you haven't seen me talk about it, in the top 2 meters of the lake there, that's where all the value is, possibly as much as $15 billion US dollars worth of high purity alumina. And the plan is very simple: dig it up, stick it on the side of the lake, and then truck it into Kwinana, where we'll build the processing plant. And also, because of the nature of the minerals that are there, it's actually relatively straightforward to process it and get it to high purity alumina. Now, I wouldn't want everyone to think that it was easy to do that. It's a fairly straightforward process. There's a lot of stuff to go through, but it's those two things together that really make the project.
And how does the integration of the HiPura process enhance the company's ability to scale production and meet future market demands?
So HiPura were the assets to produce high purity alumina that we acquired from one of our competitors that went into administration earlier on this year. We have a 50% share in that. And HiPura, the magic in HiPura is actually at the back end of the whole process, and we believe that we can bolt it on to Lake Hope. It has a particular technology, a way of processing the material to get to high purity alumina that's eminently scalable and modular, which means we can build lots of small plants around the world. And as a result, our need for large capex reduces significantly. But also we believe that the chemistry of that project may be easier to use than the back end of our current process. Now, whether that turns out to be the case or not remains to be seen. But really, that's what we're looking to do as part of the next stage of work, is to integrate those two and look to see if we can bolt Lake Hope onto HiPura.
So what are Impact's next steps at the project?
So we're entering a definitive feasibility study, which is normally what continues after a pre-feasibility study. And as I mentioned, the first thing, or one of the key things, is to look to integrate Lake Hope with HiPura. But we also have a very significant federal government grant to look at membrane technology. And we're working in conjunction with Edith Cowan University and also CPC Engineering on that, to build a pilot plant and introduce these membranes. Now, membranes have been widely used in the water treatment industry for decades, but amazingly enough, hardly used at all in the mining industry. And we believe that certainly the researchers at Edith Cowan University are going to make some breakthroughs in all parts of our process to clean up the fluids that come out of the back end, reach purity a lot quicker, and also recycle and regenerate our reagents. And as a result, I've already said we've got one of the lowest costs. We believe that we can lower the cost even further with this particular project, which is now underway.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Tully. Always great to be here.